Hey, welcome back. This is Brittany from B-Design, and today I wanted to go over some of the tools in the free program Figma. If you go to google.com and type Figma in the search bar, it's going to be the first link that pops up, www.figma.com. So click on that link and sign up for a free account or log in if you already have one, and let's get started. Once you're logged in, I'm going to go back here. You'll see a screen similar to this one. You may not have as many projects, but that's okay. To create a new project, you're going to click on this little plus icon in the right-hand corner of the browser window, and that's going to bring you into a new file. I'm going to go ahead and click into my one that I already created. Figma has two ways that you can use it. If you see right here, that's going to look a little interesting to you. So if we go back to Google and we look at this Downloads tab, Figma actually has two ways that it can be used. It can be used straight in the browser window here, or it can be downloaded as a desktop application for Mac or for Windows. So if you click on that link and you want to download it, you can. I've already got it, so I'm going to click over here and show you what I was just talking about. You also see my name here. This is one of the most powerful tools of Figma. It's showing both of these because I'm actually logged into two different instances of the application. I'm logged into the browser and I'm also logged into the same file in the desktop application. Figma allows you to share links of your projects to other people, and you can give them viewing or editing access to your projects. It's great for teams for collaborating on a project, but only 2 people are allowed on the free plan. They do have multiple pricing plans that you can use if you need to add more people. Let me exit out of the browser version and we'll go ahead and get started in the desktop application. This is exactly the same as the desktop application, just some of the positions of the things are a little different. I believe the plus icon is here instead of over on the right hand side. First, I'm going to grab a rectangle to show you some of the other tools. So to grab a rectangle, we go into this and click on the rectangle or R as the shortcut. So I'm actually going to click off that and click R and draw a rectangle. To draw a rectangle, you just click with your mouse and then drag as big as small or as you want it. The first 2 tools on the toolbar, move and scale, don't really ever need to be clicked. As you can see, if we click off the rectangle and then click back onto the rectangle, we can then drag it around by clicking on it and moving it. So we don't really need to click the V. And then scale, if you click on the rectangle and then use these little corners, you can scale the item on the screen. If you want to keep the proportions of the item, you can hold Shift on your keyboard and then grab a corner, and it will actually keep the width and the height locked to the same proportions, so you don't lose that. Those are there if you need them, but I don't really ever use them. Next, we'll look at the Frame tool, and that's this tool right here. It's going to be Frame or F. If we click F, it's going to give us different device sizes on this side of the screen. So we've got phones, we've got tablets, desktop sizes, all different things that you need for prototyping or mocking up websites or apps. So that's great. You can also just drag any size that you need and change it. Over here in this design tab, you can actually go and say you wanted to make a full screen resolution, which is 1920 by 1080. We can just set those dimensions in the width and the height, and it automatically resizes our frame. The next tool under the frame tool is the slice tool. All the slice tool does is allow you to group items that are not already grouped together to export. I'm not going to cover that today, so we're going to skip over that for now. In the next tab, we have the basic shapes. We have a rectangle, a line, an arrow, an ellipse, a polygon, a star, and then the ability to place images from files on your computer. We've already used the rectangle, so let's use a couple of the other ones to see what they look like. So I'm going to click on the line tool and just drag the line. You can drag them in different directions. If you wanted it to be straight, we could hold shift and it will keep that in proportion to different degrees. What's the next tool? We've got an arrow tool, which is Shift L, and that's going to add an arrow to the end of our line tool. You can actually go in here on the line and change the cap to have an arrow, so it's kind of a redundant tool, but it's there if you need it. The next tool is the ellipse tool. I'm going to go ahead and hit the shortcut, which is O for the ellipse tool. That's going to bring up my circle or ellipse because you can actually draw it in any shape. It doesn't have to be a circle, but if you hold shift again, it will keep that circle proportion. Going to make a big one there. And again, over here, you can change any of these that you wanted. And I forgot that on the rectangle, I wanted to show you guys that you can change the border radius and make it more of a curved rectangle if you wanted. So I'm going to bring this rectangle all the way to the top and change the color of it. And then I'm going to show you right here, you can change the corners. So let's change it to 5 and see what happened. If you notice, these corners are just a little bit rounded now. We'll make it a little bit bigger and we'll see it better. Now you can see that it's actually rounded. So that's how you use some of these tools, and these are all different. It just changes it in a different angle if you want that. Let's move on to the next tool. Next we've got the polygon. So a polygon starts out as a triangle, but it does not have to be a triangle. You can change the number of sides to however many you need just by clicking into this little box over here. You can either drag the number up or you can type into here however many you need. The next tool under here is star. And again with star, it starts out with 5. If you want to keep that star shape, you can hold shift, or you can drag it as big as small as you want it. And then right here we have the points of our star. We can go up as many as we need. And like I said, with place image, it just allows you to place images from your computer into your file. You can also paste images by hitting Control-C on a Windows computer and copying the image, and then hitting Control-V in Figma to paste them. The next tools that we're going to cover are the pen and the pencil tool. These are the drawing tools in Figma. The pen tool is probably one of the most difficult tools to use, but it is also the most powerful tool. So I really suggest that you take the time to learn how to use it, because it is really one of the most powerful things that you can use. I'm going to show you how to use it just by tracing over this star that we created. By clicking on a corner, it will start the pen tool. It will drag out the line, and then you can click wherever you want it to go. So I'm going to click around all of these corners. And because I have the grid turned on, it will try to sync up with previous alignment, which is really helpful if you're trying to keep things straight and organized. I'm just going to do half of this so we can go on. But that is how you do that, and then you could fill it if you wanted with a different color. And get a stroke. And another thing that you can do with the pen tool is to do rounded corners. To do rounded corners, you would click like you did before, but instead of just clicking on the next position, you're going to find a place that looks about even, and then you're going to drag And once you drag, you start to get that rounded corner. If it's not exactly where you need it to be to find your shape, you can always hit escape and escape again. And then once you're out of it, if you click on enter, it will enter you back into it, but with an arrow key. This is probably one of those situations where you could use the move tool. And then you can move each little node around in the pen tool to get the exact corner that you need. And if you accidentally do that, you can hold Control and pull the curve back out. And there we go. The next tool is the pencil tool, which is just a regular drawing pencil. You can doodle, you can move your mouse around and draw whatever you want. Holding shift does not hold a line with this. You have to use the line key to hold a straight line. This is just for doodling or writing notes or handwriting on things. The next tool is the text tool, which allows us to add text to our document. Type in tools in Figma. We can go over here and we can change the font to something else. We can change the size. And you can move it around, change the color, do anything you need to do with the text tools. The hand tool allows you to pan around your document without risking picking up something and moving it by accident or changing something that you don't want to. And the last tool that we're going to cover is the comment tool. If you click on that, you can click here and you can add a comment to the document. This allows others to leave comments on portions that might need to be revised or just to approve a design change or something in the collaboration aspect of Figma. So thanks for joining me today, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss these exciting tutorials. See you later!